Next, we're going to talk about exponents. And so if you multiply a number by itself multiple times, then we can use exponents for this. So this example that I put here, you notice that we're multiplying 3 4 times. So the exponent is a small number that's put on top. So make sure when you're running exponents that you put it on top. You don't want to kind of write it out. If you kind of do this and put a 4, something like that, something like this, that may be misinterpreted as 3 times 4 or 12. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure instead you put the 4 on top like it should be here. So the 3 in the bottom, the big number is called the base, and the top number is called the exponent. That's what that is. So this one says, write out the following as an exponent. Okay, I have 4 multiplied 5 times. Now, for this kind of problem, they don't want you to actually evaluate that. So if this is a homework problem, for instance, and they want you to write it out, you don't need to actually use a calculator to get the answer on that. All you're going to put here is 4 and 4 to the 5th. Okay, it's 4 multiplied 5 times. That's what we have there. Let's do that for the next one. You're multiplying 5 6 times, so that would be 5 to the 6th. So that's how you would do something like that. All right, now next one, we want to name the base and the exponent and give the value of to the 5th. Now this one, they do actually want you to work this out. Okay, so the base would put equals. Base is going to equal 2. And for the exponent, that's going to be the 5. So base is 2 and the exponent is 5. Now they want us to figure out what that actually is. So really, you can change it into multiplying the 2 out 5 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. And that's what we would put for the answer. That's the actual value of 2 to the 5th power. Let's do the same thing for this one down below. Okay, so the base would be 4 and exponent would be 3. You're multiplying 4 3 times. Okay, 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, 64. So 4 to the 3rd power would be 64. Okay. Now, a couple more down here we want to do is evaluate these. Okay, now in the negatives, okay, you got to be careful with these. So if you've got -5 squared, that means you're multiplying -5 twice. -5 times -5 is going to give you positive 25. 2 negatives will give you a positive. Now, you might be thinking well, isn't -5 squared, isn't that exactly the same thing that we just did? So why we have to do it twice? Actually, these are not the same problem. It looks like it might be, but it's really not. Everything inside the parentheses is multiplied together twice, but we don't have a parentheses around this time. The 2 is only attached to the 5. So what this is, -5 squared, that's actually the same thing as -1 times 5 squared is what that means. So this actually means -1 times 25. If I can write here, 25. Okay, so -1 times 25 is -25. So you see, both of these are actually two different things. One's positive 25 and the other is -25. Those are two different problems. So if the parentheses are around the number, that's when you're going to multiply them twice. But if you've got a negative out front, that just means you're multiplying it by -1. So that's the difference there between those. Okay, let's try this one. -7 squared. -7 times -7, like that, is 49. That's the first one. But the second one, -7 squared is equal to -1 times 7 squared, which is -1 times 49, which is the same thing as -49. Okay, so again, those two, although they look the same, they're actually different. So something you want to watch out for.